So, hi, welcome to Guys Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Mitch from Moon Fever.
and some questions to say about the upcoming album, Forever Sleep. So, congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Stoked, man. You know, it's great. Something we've been working on for, we recorded it probably like a year and a half ago, and we've been playing them live. So it's like, for it to finally get out feels great, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you still have like that excitement and that build up coming for you, even though you've recorded it a year and a half ago and you've already been playing them?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like, especially live, like we play some of our favorite songs, they still feel like you're playing, you know, a great song. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know. With that being said, maybe a few of them, like, that's okay. But you know what I mean. But yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Alright.
album fucking rocks. We typically lean a little bit more on the metal side of the rock community, but a straight up rock record is something I always appreciate, and this fucking album really is something I'm gravitating towards. I dig it a lot.
Damn
Thanks,
right,
man.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, you said you recorded it about a year and a half ago. Could you give us like a timeline of when writing started?
So it really started probably 2 years ago. I moved up to Seattle, and I was just kind of like dreary, horrible Seattle weather, end of the year, you know, vibes, and I was just like, just gonna come up with this new sound, and in this little studio the band has above El Corazon in Seattle. It's really gross, holes in the walls, no heat, you know, no AC, you know, super gross. And yeah, just kind of started writing there. Then like the band came in, we started collaborating and putting stuff together. And you know, I think we tracked the first 6, and then like we tracked another 4, and it just kind of like, you know, kept snowballing, and you know, and next thing you know, you got a record, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sounds good. And is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
You know, that was like the single that kind of really got us going. It really kind of brought us together as a band, which is cool. So, you know, it's a reflection of that song and the band coming together, and, you know, it kind of being the thing that glued us together, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you just wanted to kind of, you know, lead with that as the title because it's what brought you guys together. It's the debut record, kind of all bring it home.
Yeah, it's like, this is, you know, it's like, hey, this is us. This is what we did together. It's like a good, like, you know, little thing, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So you've already kind of touched on it, but if you'd like, you can go a little bit more in depth. Can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the record?
It's always different, you know, like some of the songs I came up with, and then Tristan came in, and we kind of like, or he wrote to him, and then we kind of like collabed, like, you know, broke it down in the room. A few other ones, our bass player Dave came in with a great idea, and we kind of like flushed it out, or I would go to his house and me and him would collab. It's just kind of like, there's no real formula. It's, you know, more like it kind of happens how it happens. I like think the songs kind of fall in your lap more than anything else. Like, you don't really write them. You're kind of like, oh, cool, thanks for the song a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much whoever has the idea brings it to the group, and then you guys flesh it out as a band.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then like when we go to the studio too, things always change. You might hear something, you're like, oh, that's a cool idea, or like a synth part could go there, or maybe a solo, or, you know, whatever. It's pretty loose, you know?
Yeah, just whatever the song is calling for, whatever you guys are
Whatever
vibing
you're
on.
after, baby. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. And what song took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Out of that batch of songs, Forever Sleep's definitely my favorite song. And you know, longest to write, honestly, everything really came together naturally. It's like one of those things where it's like, I kind of feel like, and I think the group, you know, we all kind of feel it's like, if you have to keep rehashing something and it takes a long time and it's just like strenuous, and it's like, you know, it's like, you know what, maybe don't do that one and write a new song. You know what I mean? It's like, anytime I think that it's not super natural, it's probably not worth it. You know what I mean? That's always I've felt. But, you know, I think they all were fairly easy to kind of write and put together.
That's
Okay.
good. Okay.
Was there anything like when you guys were tracking that there was a song or a particular part where someone was struggling to kind of get it down?
You know, not really necessarily. You know, again, it was a very organic, very easy process. I'm trying to think about it. And yeah, I mean, the guys are great, and I don't know. Yeah.
Fair enough. I was just trying to spin the question to maybe get some sort of answer, but that's fine. If it was easy all around, that's also an answer.
And sometimes picking and choosing lyrics is a little more difficult because you're like, what does this say? And like, does this word, do these words work with the rhyme scheme? And like, you have to kind of figure that out like a jigsaw puzzle sometimes. But, at the end of the day, it's not like we're doing math problems, you know what I mean?
We're not doing quantum physics, we're writing music here.
Quantum physics, man, we're making rock and roll, dog.
Exactly. Come on, rock and roll.
We're making rock and roll,
Yeah. I gotcha. So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle it and see what fits? What was that process like?
It was just kind of like, again, just shuffling around, kind of being like, oh, this makes sense, that makes sense, I wouldn't say, it's not exactly Zeppelin 4. It's not a concept album. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and two, it's like these are the ones we picked for the album out of the 40 or whatever we did to come down to these ones as the songs, so maybe that was a little bit harder of a process, but just like, oh, this feels right. It's got a good flow,
Yeah, all about the vibe. Could you talk a little bit about that process of whittling down the 40 tracks that you guys had to the songs that are now on the album?
Yeah, I think, well, basically, it's like, we go in, we do a ton of demos, just like, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, and we just kind of keep whittling it down. We're like, okay, maybe, like, it really comes down to more than anything that when we write something in like a studio and we bring it to the room and we're playing it, like, if it doesn't feel like right or it doesn't feel like magic, if it doesn't feel like, man, I cannot wait to get on stage and play this for an audience, like, instantly you're like, okay, that one's gotta die. Even if you love it, you're like, I could, like, love this riff, but like this is the coolest thing ever. But like, if it doesn't feel like it can translate live, or if we don't get that feeling as a group, it's like, cut it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let it go.
Well, that makes the whittling down process very easy because obviously you're not going to write 40 songs where you're like, I can vision the crowd now just absolutely eating this up.
Yeah.
And again, some of them you're like, they are going to love this, and then you play and you're like, this sucks.
Did not pan out.
This sucks. Whatever. Yeah. I love it, but it sucks. So whatever.
Next one.
Exactly.
Yeah. Makes sense. And would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
I mean, when I moved out, I really moved out here, didn't really know anyone, just kind of doing my own thing, living basically in this disgusting studio of El Corazon, super gnarly, like moved in, trashed, needles on the ground, swiped it out, built my studio in it, what I'm saying? Just started trying to kind of build a thing up here, and, and yeah, I mean, that's where I was. Gloomy, Seattle, snowing, miserable outside,
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Of course, yeah. So pretty much like your headspace was, basically rebuilding your life because you uprooted yourself. You're kind of building a life from scratch, and you're building a band from scratch at the same time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right.
What a better place to make a rock album? Am I right?
You're right. I mean, that'll really get you in the headspace and the mind frame to really make uplifting, positive music.
Positive, yeah, great messages, happiness, Yeah.
I gotcha. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should doing a car with friends in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I mean, yeah. Oh, you know what? It's great. It's all of those things. Yeah, I mean, we're putting it out on vinyl, so the vinyl looks really cool. It's gonna sound great. I mean, yeah, I mean, headphones for sure, but like, I mean, what I always like to do is listen to it on good speakers and then listen to it like a shitty JBL. It's awesome. I don't know. Let it come how it comes, man. Maybe on a computer. I don't know.
Yeah. As long as you're listening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And this one should be super, super quick off top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Gloomy Seattle rock.
Damn right. Yeah.
That's perfect. I think that encapsulates the last like 10 minutes or so of the interview right there in 3 words.
Totally.
Yeah. And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Just take it as it is. Have your own opinion. If you like it, love it, great. Hit us up, great. If not, okay, no worries.
Yeah.
But, check it out.
Yeah. Appreciate you checking it out, whether you love it or you hate it.
Yeah. Hopefully you love it.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
that's always the hope, but, Yeah.
Damn right. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
It was hard to get it really done because we were on the road for so long. The last 2 years, we've been touring a lot, so it was like just to get time to finish stuff. It was the hardest, because we're on a bus, we're in a van, with a trailer, so it's like. We have a studio on the road and there's a lot of on days. So it's like when we get off the road, everyone needs a couple days to kind of figure out who they are and live their lives again for a minute. But just really finding the time to get and finish it, to be honest with you. That was probably the hardest thing,
Yeah.
Did you struggle at all with the alternating headspaces of being on tour versus working on an album? Because obviously those are two very different headspaces to be in.
It's always weird. It's always super weird. Even just getting off the road and being home for a month, even a month, you're like, whoa, who am I? What is this? You know?
Yeah.
You get into the writing mode and you're turning up tunes, you're doing writes, you're starting to record again. You're like, oh, okay, this is who I am here. But there's definitely a transitional time, without question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. So since we're talking about tour, gotta ask, what's your go-to snack at a gas station or a rest stop when you're on tour?
Oh, well, for me, dude, because I try to attempt to eat okay, but so I go for nuts, I go for dried fruits,
Okay.
flowers, a nice Perrier.
Okay. I see.
For a nice little treat.
Yeah, exactly. You need to treat
For a nice
yourself.
little treat out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it. Really shitty coffee, really burnt, horrible coffee, 3 o'clock in the morning. Phenomenal.
Oh my god. It's premium coffee at 3 a.m.
It's the taste of exactly what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want something nice in that scenario. If I'm the middle of nowhere in New Mexico, I want a really bad cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It fits the
I
vibe.
want to sip it and go, fuck, what the hell is that? And then sip it again and go, wow, this just does not get better.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Ooh, oh man. Okay. Okay. Well, on the road, typically we do eat a lot of Caesar salads,
Hell yeah.
I don't know if that necessarily represents the music, but I mean, Caesar salad, man, what a great salad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out Caesar salad. Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah,
your salad.
damn right.
It's what brings
It's my
the band together.
Shout out Caesar salad. We'd be lost without you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh man. Wow. I'm pretty partial to a good chicken wing. So it'd probably be a chicken wing, and it would probably be a gin and tonic.
Oh.
I mean, I would eat a few chicken wings, not a singular chicken. I'm not.
I was worried.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically a mess of chicken wings, and then a lot of gin and tonics.
What what dressing are you covering the dressing? Fucking what is it?
Sauce.
What sauce are you covering the chicken wings with?
Traditional buffalo. Yeah, either a buffalo or a nice lemon pepper, and
Ooh.
then for the drink, gin, Bombay Sapphire, tonic,
Okay.
lime, done.
Done. Check.
Done.
Sold.
I
Ready.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
Go.
Ready. Let's go. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Ooh, a fictional world, man. I would live in a world. Wow, good question. Oh, I got it. Well, not fictional, but fictional to me right now. I would live in 2003 New York, so I could see what the Strokes and Karen O were up to, if that makes sense, and to hang out in those dirty bathrooms with them.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
That sounds sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've asked the last question. Every single person who's spoken to have said that is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Ooh, Favorite color of all of black. Or this exact color. It's like not black, it's not blue, it's not gray, but it's this like whatever this is. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's not black, it's not blue, it's not gray, but it's like all of them put together. It's the perfect color for me. Love it.
Yeah, I get it. I see the vision. It is hard to describe. It is kind of like it's like a very burnt brown, but I don't know. It's
Maybe that's what it is too. I'm not sure, but whatever this color is my favorite color. Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
All right. So as I said, that's all the questions I have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
So we have a record coming out. Go check it out. Moonfever.com, Moonfever Official on all your social medias. We got tours coming up. We got come check us out if you like rock, and fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Sal. It's been Mitch from Moon Fever, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.